This conference will now be recorded.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So, welcome to this user group meeting where I'm supposed to be presenting. It's my first time presenting, so I'm sorry if things doesn't go according to plan. So, today I'm just going to talk a bit about me and my Tinndahl tip from the train, and a bit about PDM, the difference between PDM standard. Hang on, and now stop. Hang on, sorry.
No.
Difference between PDM standard. What? Sorry, and go. Difference between PDM standard and PDM Pro, and getting started with PDM standard, and how you install PDM standard and create a new vault. Okay, why does this keep happening? Sorry. Apparently there's a timer on it. Sorry.
No problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. There we go. And also, I'm going to give you a small PDM standard overview. This is going to be a live presentation from my screen. And then I have on the tech block, I have something called 6 Solidworks solutions. And here I have 6 Solidworks solutions about PDM. So let's just get started here with me. Nope. Yeah. So my name is Lennart Tinndahl. I have worked with Solidworks since 2002. I've been with PLM Group since 2016. And I'm currently doing a LinkedIn series called Tinndahl's Tip from the Train, where I give small tips to SolidWorks. I'm a certified SolidWorks professional and a SolidWorks champion, and I was recently a presenter at 3D Experience World 2022. And well, I was born in 1975, so that would make me like 47. I'm married, have 1 child, and I live in Odense in Denmark. So PDM, what is it? Well, it stands for Product Data Management. It stands for Product Data Management. We have it in 2 versions, Standard and Professional. We'll get to that in a minute, what the difference is. The main advantage with PDM is that you have the life cycle of documents, meaning you can always go back to an old version of a drawing or part, or even your Word documents if you want that. By that, you also have some revision history, and you have a very good way of searching for your data. And you also have it's integrated into Explorer, so it doesn't seem like a different system. If you're used to work with Windows Explorer, you can use PDM quite easily. And you can also use it for creating PDFs in the standard version and multiple other part type drawing types on the professional. The workflows where you have, for instance, from development to approval to revision, you can customize them any way you like. There we go. So PDM Standard vs PDM Pro. So can you see my mouse? Oh no. So the workflow.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Good. In PDM Standard, you have the workflow. There's only one workflow in PDM Standard. With PDM Professional, you can have multiple, unlimited number of workflows, which can be good because you can have one workflow for your CAD files, you can have a workflow for your Word files, etc. In this workflow, there's states, meaning, for instance, when a drawing is in development, if it's in approved, these are states. In the PDM Standard, you have 10 states to select between. Within the PDM Professional, you have unlimited number of states. Now, it may sound like a good thing, but sometimes you can get too many states. I've tried that, but it is a cool feature. Number of users, that is actually unlimited in both standard and professional, but as PDM only runs on an SQL Express, PDM Standard only runs on a SQL Express, then it's only recommended with 10 users. So, and for add-ins, for PDM Standard, you have SolidWorks, you have DraftSite, and PDM Professional, you have SolidWorks, DraftSite, Office, and you also have an add-in now for Inventor files, actually. Tasks, as I said, you can do PDFs. There's one task, and that's only PDFs you can do in PDM Standard. In PDM Professional, you have unlimited number of tasks. Notifications. If you want to receive a message whenever a file has been approved or is under revision, those can be done in both Professional and in Standard, but PDM Professional also have the option to get an email notification. Replication of your vault, where your files are, that's only available in PDM Professional. Replication of your vault is quite simply, if you have a company that is located in both Denmark and Sudan, then it can sometimes be a good idea to have a copy of the vault in each location. It'll be easier to read, it'll be quicker to access the archive. That is the replication, and then it'll replicate when you start using it. When you approve a drawing, it will be replicated to the other server. Search, well, you have the metadata, which is the usual custom properties. You have, where you have custom properties within SolidWorks, you can search in those actually in PDM, both Standard and Professional. But in PDM Professional, you can also search on content, for instance, in Word files. So if you search if you search in PDM Professional, then you can actually search within a value of a document. For instance, if it's inside, it says Lennart, you can find that document because of the content. But that is kind of cool. So what do we need to install PDM? We need a license server to host a license, of course, and we need an archive server. We need an SQL database to keep track of all of your data. All of these can be located on the same server. I have one here in my own office, but you can also say, okay, I can only use this server for SQL, and I only want to use this server for my archive files. That is up to you. Software, what do you need? Well, you need, of course, a supported SQL server. Those change almost every year, and you also need supported operating system. And I know a lot of people at the moment is in a bit of a jam due to the Windows 11 that has arrived with SolidWorks. But you need those things. So before you install, when you install, the first thing you do, you log on to the server as administrator. Turn off all your firewalls and make sure that the user account control is turned off. So after installing, you of course need to turn on your firewall, but then you also need to open some ports in the firewall. As you can see here, I have listed them down, which ports belong to what, for the license server, the SQL server, and the firewall. I would of course be happy to share this with you after the presentation if you want to. I don't know if I can probably share a screenshot of it in the chat, I suppose. But that's basically just you need these ports open in order to run it on your system. So okay, hang on. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk a bit about installing PDM Standard on your system. Actually, it's not that a difficult process, which is why I decided to take it to bring it into the presentation, because I think most people can do it, but just by using this presentation. So let's have a look at it. So first, you of course need to download the installation manager from SolidWorks. After you've done that, you can unpack and run the program as administrator. So select next, you press select the installed server components and select install, and then you install SolidWorks PDM server. If need be, you can also select install SolidWorks network license manager, and press next. So then you will see this image. Of course, the first thing you know is that you need to make a few decisions. So let's look into that. Oh, So first, within the SolidWorks PDM server, you click Change. And then in here, you're going to select SolidWorks PDM Standard. As far as I remember, the standard setting is actually SolidWorks PDM Professional. So it's very easy, it's very important that you make sure to go in here. Of course, next, and you also for your installation location, I usually just use the standard. But then you also need to ensure you have all these three features. Now, just one thing, this is of course only if you want to install a PDM server, not if you want to install the client. Now you need to select your SQL server. Now, enter your password. If it's a new SQL server, write down your password. I've had a lot of people who have come to me and said, okay, Lennart, I forgot my password. Well, there's nothing I can do. I mean, maybe Microsoft can do something about it. I can't, to be quite honest. So remember that password. That's very important. So after that, you just press back to summary. So now I just want to make sure that the license manager is okay. So we just press change in the SolidWorks license manager, insert our serial number, and of course ensure that the installation path is correct. Again, usually I just use the standard installation path. And once again, back to summary. So now you can just select download options, and you can just So here you can select if you want to install the software, just download it. For some reason the picture didn't show, and you can also select where you want to install it to, where you want to download the file set to. For instance, if you want to download it to a network drive or to another drive. For instance, maybe you don't have enough room on your standard location, so you can just move it to another one. So, and of course, you can also select if you want to use a background downloader for future service packs. And press back to summary. Accept the terms, of course. And press download and install. So, while we wait, any questions so far on the chat or anywhere?
That's really cool.
Okay.
Well,
great.
the very interesting thing about when you forget your SQL password, well, you have to reach out to who in order to get it back.
What? Sorry?
I said if you forget your password,
Yeah.
SQL, you have to reach out to in order to get it back.
Yeah, but the problem is if it's you that's created the password, then you have a problem if you don't write it down.
Okay.
Yeah, because usually we can just that's the security level within the SQL server. Actually, it is of course possible to. No, I don't know actually if that. Maybe I'm sure maybe somewhere Microsoft has some great ideas on how to retrieve it, but I've seen. Trust me, I've tried a lot of articles, a lot of different solutions for people, and well, it just doesn't seem to work. I know how to restore the admin password within PDM. That is quite easy, actually, if you have admin access. But as for SQL, that's a whole other ball game. I mean, that's yeah. So no, to my knowledge, it's not just like. Of course, if a PDM, if an IT person installs your SQL, he should know the password. That is, of course. Otherwise, he might need to find another job, I would say.
Yeah.
As I said, I've had a lot of people calling me saying, what's my password? I don't know. I know there was a standard password at some point, but SolidWorks doesn't use that if you use the SolidWorks installation manager. So that's okay. So when you install PDM for the first time, the archive server configuration wizard appears right after you press OK. This is just to configure your archive server and make sure you have all the and make sure that all your paths and passwords are located correctly. So I'm just going to go through that and let's see. So first you need to decide what file where your archive folder should be. The archive folder is actually all of your files. All of your files are located in this folder, all versions. If, for instance, you have version 30 of a file, then in somewhere within these folders, 30 versions of that file exists. Of course, you also need to set a default password for the vault, a default admin password, and yes, it can be blank. I have to admit that sometimes when I do my own testing, mine is blank. It just click, easy, go, move on. So next, you need to, again, the password for the SQL server. This is to ensure that you have the correct access for the SQL. So the next one here is a bit more tricky. This is who has access, which Windows users has access to this vault. So basically what you have here, you have two kinds of access. This is, so just to explain, this is of course the list of users that the system can find when you just try it. Then you have the administrative access. That is if you want to remove a vault from a file tree, and if you want to, I think also to create different kinds of vault views. And then no vault views, that's here attach access. But to remove vaults from the tree, that is administrative access, and attach access, that is when you, for instance, want to add a file vault. So that is basically, that's it. The login type. PDM has actually two kinds of different kinds of login. You have the PDM Solidworks login, where you have a little blue screen that pops up. You write your login, and then you also have your Windows login, where you actually can use your Windows login to create your Windows use, to create your PDM user. It's very common for many large companies to use this, as it is all connected then. The LAPD user, the LTDAP user, is not something I have worked a lot with, so I'm just going to skip that, to be quite honest. I have not, as I said, it's used with novel NDS and eDirectory and requires knowledge about that. I have no knowledge of the novel NDS, so I'm sorry to say that. I usually recommend, if you are starting up on the PDM Standard, of course, you can only use Solidworks PDM login, and you also, but if you're professional, I recommend Windows login. And after that is done, you have now installed PDM on your system, and you are good to go. You should just restart your PC, of course. So, but after restarting the PC, we need to activate the license. So I'm just going to run over this. I'm sure many of you have tried this before, but I'm just for good measures, I'm just going to do it. So we start the license server, in this case our 2022 version. When we start it, this message appears that there's no that Solidworks license does not exist for the serial numbers entered. That basically just means that this license has not been activated on this server just yet. So we just would like to activate, and now we get this. So here you just have to verify the server in use for this on this server. This will mean that it will create an exception in the firewall. So in this case, I have my computer name, I have the port number, and I also have the outgoing number here. Now the options file, I haven't done a lot about that, but just to mention it shortly. The option file is actually a way for you to control who gets which license. For instance, if you say, okay, let's see, that guy, he only wants a PDM viewer. Oh no, that's a poor example. He only wants that guy only wants a SolidWorks standard, and he only needs a SolidWorks professional. You can actually direct those things within the options file. And next, you just need to press select all if you have multiple serial numbers. and select, make sure activate over the internet. That is actually default, so you don't need to select it. This should be pretty default. Remember to insert an email, and that's quite simply because I think it was since 2021 the email was required. It wasn't that earlier. You could just go, but now it was required. Otherwise, this next it'll just be gray. So and that's it. Now the PDM is the PDM license is now activated. So any questions so far?
Okay. Everything right now.
Yeah. Nope. Okay. Here I'm just going to have some minor, hang on. I'm just going to switch to my own screen. Here we go. So this, oh God, there we go. So this is just a quick overview of the PDM standard. So this, well, the first thing you notice here is that I have two different icon colors. So the gray icon is the PDM standard, and just to show it off here, the yellow one is the PDM professional. So if we just scroll down here to PDM standard, which is what I'm going to focus on, we have different add-ins. There's not a lot of add-ins at the moment, but one of the add-ins could, for instance, be to convert a PDF. That could be one of the add-ins. I think actually that's one of the only add-ins you can have within PDM standard. That is convert and convert to PDF within that folder. Next, you have bill of materials. You have the option to set up your bill of materials, and you can export these bill of materials also in the PDM system. Here we have cards. Within the PDM system, there are different types of cards, different types of file cards. Hang on, I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to show you. So within the PDM system, you have different types of file cards. Hang on, I'm just going to go. Nope. Okay. So within you have different kinds of file cards. So you can see here, for instance, with the, if you click okay, hang on, sorry, just going to go here. So now just create a quick local view on my, that is kind of, there we go, sorry.
No problem, feel free, man.
So, okay, so now we can look at them, I guess. There we go. So here you have all the different information from your files. For instance, you have these information are also used within your custom properties on your part. So if you have a custom property, it will likely be called description, and this description will be copied to your part. And all of these you have here, you can actually use your search for those. So this is the metadata we're going to look in. They're going to be used for search in the PDM standard. So, but of course, I have to be honest, there's of course a lot more in PDM Pro, but here you also have the option to have folder cards. So for instance, if I have let's go here. For instance, if I have this, I just create a new folder. Do we have a folder card? Yeah, we have a folder card. That's great. So just create a folder here. Good. So now, as you can see here, we can actually say, for instance, I mean, this folder is a project, so we give that a project number. I'm just gonna see if I can. Nope. Okay. But and these, if for instance you have a project number and you give that here, you say 1, 2, 3, go. Edit values. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have that for your project number, and you then create a file within this folder, you can also have the file inherit that project number. So that is also one cool thing you can do with when you combine the different file cards. You can have basically you can have file cards for every file type you can have within within the system. It's actually quite simple. Just open this one, for instance. Oh, hang on, it's hiding. There we go. So if I just want to save as here, and here I actually decide what sort of extensions I want it to be used for. One more thing. If, for instance, we have, let's see, if we go in here, and we just need to go to, there we go. So if, for instance, I decide that within this folder, I want a different file card. For instance, I want a different file card for my SolidWorks parts. Then I can actually just take this PDF, just take this card and say SLDPRT, and then click save it within the folder. Then every file that's a SolidWorks file, part file that is placed within that folder will get that will get that data card. So if we just browse a bit more, here we go. Okay, hang on, let's just, there we go. So these are the file cards. So okay, and again, questions, please let me know. So cold storage. Cold storage is actually also a very cool thing. It's basically that you can, for instance, you say, okay, every versions from except from the newest, I want that to be stored, and then you can save some space when you do that. So that could also, if you are if you don't have a lot of space on your hard drive, then you can use the cold storage scheme. You can always retrieve those files because it's not gone. It's just locked in a location. It just takes a bit longer to get them, but you can always get them back. But this is just to save time to archive them. So next you have columns within the PDM system. See here, there we go. You of course have these columns here. You can modify them basically any way you want to. Also, when you search, you can modify them. So file types, here you have the different file types that is supported within the PDM system. The license, you have a license where you have your license server, and you can see how many licenses are used. So at the moment, this is all there is. List, you have an option. These lists are, let's see if we can make a new list here. No, I can't. Okay. So this is list is all for PDM standard. The list is used in quick search. You can actually set up your variables here. You also have a message system. This is also only internal. There's no emails in this. In the professional version, you have a tab here where it says where you can set up your email, so you can get all the emails information you want. You have an entire revision system. You can basically set the revision system any way you want it to. So if we go here, we can actually say, okay, we want let's see, we want a special string. We want a number, for instance, to use for our revision system, or we can use year, month, day. Basically, you can do whatever you want with the revision system, and you can, after you set up components, you can just combine them to, for instance, you can say, okay, I want both number and letter. You can actually combine them into two parts. So a new icon that has arrived recently, not this year or last, but recently, was this SolidWorks. This is actually where you have your revision table. This is the revision table you know from your drawings, and that is actually you're actually able to control that with your PDM system. So you don't, usually in SolidWorks, when you work on your revision table, you have to click, say new revision. Well, with the PDM system, it just fills it out for you. So you can also put your toolbox within your PDM system, which is very cool, because then you also ensure to get the latest version. So this is the task. There's not a lot of tasks right now, but this is where you, for instance, would put your PDM task. So, and then you can have a list on who can use them and so forth. Users, groups, and management. That's actually new. Earlier, it was you had groups up here and you had users down here. Now they put it into one, which makes perfect sense. Usually, I recommend that you create a user, that you create a group that you put different users in, because then it's easy to assign a new user certain permissions by just adding him to a group. Then you have your variables. Variables are basically, very basically, your custom properties of your PDM system. So when you use a variable, you actually use custom properties. So your variables will be copied to your custom properties on your parts and back if you change them within the parts. And now we come to the workflows. So workflows, that is basically the entire journey of your file. So we start off with in this case, you start off with under editing. This is the start where the drawing is, and then you can submit it for approval. This is just an example. You can do it any way you like. Trust me, I've done some weird stuff. But then you submit it for approval, and then here you can just say, and then that's another, and then it will get another revision or version. And then you can say, okay, do I want to edit it or do I just want to approve it? So this is actually, and you can, as I said, you can have 10 of these states within this workflow. That's a limit with PDM standard. Any questions about workflows? No? Nope. Okay, I'll just continue. So let's see here. That was okay. Hang on. So the next thing I had, that's it. 6 SolidWorks solutions on PDM. So as some of you may know, I write for the SolidWorks tech blog also. And I've started with something called 6 SolidWorks solutions. I have a PDM startup, and so I'm just going to present 6 of the best SolidWorks solutions I've had on that article base for now. So, okay, hang on. Something's going on. Hang on. Why isn't this working now? Okay, there we go. And there we go. So, problem. Within PDM, you can actually have blue folders. When you open your PDM, if you noticed before, my folder was green. When you open your PDM, your folder is green. You do not have a preview of your files. In, well, 10 times out of 10, the reason is actually is that we are set to work to offline mode. And I can just easily just show you this here. So this is actually used, for instance, if you know, okay, I'm not going to be able, for instance, you're going on a flight and you still want to be able to access your files. So what you do is you press work offline. What this does is that it makes sure that you have you have access to the PDM system, and you also retain your license. But you still work offline, but you can still work on the files you have gotten. So if I just press this, and then I'm just going to go back to this. There we go, 2021 standard. There we go. To standard. And you can see here, you now have that blue folder. So the simple solution is actually just go here, work online. And so we're just going to try again. There we go. And so that is it's actually a very common issue I get from customers. They call in with that problem, and that is one of the problems I can use when they say I can't see my preview. I just usually ask, well, are your folders blue? Yes. Okay. So then I basically know what to do. So missing menus. This is also if you look, we can do that again here, and I'm just going to go here. Hang on, I don't know. Okay, I'll just have a new. Okay, if I have anything here. Oh, there's not a preview here. Okay, so there's no preview for TXT files, so that's not but usually you have all these. But what if you only see the preview but no data card? You don't have anything. You don't. All you have is a preview, but you miss all these. So in most cases, it is actually quite easy. You just need to hover, and I'll just show you if I can turn it off on mine here. You just need to hover over in the Explorer on any place, not a file. Right click, press Show Preview tab. So I'm just gonna go here, View, and like that. So again, solution is the same. To go back, so no files visible. That is also one. When you log in, this is what you see. You don't have any files. The funny thing is, I've seen this happen for people who have just installed PDM and for people who have worked with PDM for a long time. All of a sudden, one day they come in, it looked like this. Now, the funny thing is, it's not that complicated. It's actually you just grab that line and drag it down. And the funny thing, and the weird thing is, I can't say why this happens. I can make it happen on my own computer. Just drag it up like this. See here. I mean, I can make it happen on my own like this. There we go. But I don't know why it happens. But it happens, and this is a quite easy fix. So when you delete a file, this one I'm just going to show you actually. So for instance, if we have this, I'm just going to put this into the new folder here. And we're just going to check it in. Much easier. There we go. Yeah, great. Okay, so if I just go and delete that, and hang on. Okay, hang on. My where did it go? So there we go. For some reason disappeared. But when the file is deleted, and if you do it by mistake, then what? Actually, it is quite simple. If you just go to your folder and right click on it and go to properties. This is not standard properties. These are PDM properties. Here you among one of them have the deleted items. And I can just easily just right click on it and press recover. And now if we go back into the vault, and then it is recovered. Of course, you need to have the permissions to do so, but speak to administrator. So that was that, as shown. So the wrong license, that is also a very common issue that happens during installation. Instead of Cat Editor, you have installed Cat Viewer. So do you have to reinstall? No, you don't. What you do is you go, I'm just going to show you again with this. No, not with this one. What you do is you open your PDM administration module, go to Help, About, and here you can actually select your PDM, which license you want to use. Of course, you need to shut down PDM on your system and then start it up again. But then you can pretty much decide what license you want to use. So I'm just gonna. Okay, so this one is going. Okay, so usually when you want to work with a file in PDM, you check it out, meaning you have the rights to use it. No one else can use it. But what if you have checked a file out and it's read-only? Well, basically, okay, I'm just giving the whole solution away. So if you go to Open Reference Documents with read-only access, That is often also when you use SOLIDWORKS regularly. If you have a drawing open and you open the part from the drawing, then you get this error. So sometimes you can actually just solve it by removing this check mark. Oh, is that it? Okay, I think that's what I had. Sorry, that's what. So, any questions?
First of all, thank you for the presentation. It's very clear, easy to
Thank you.
understand. My question, you know, like work simulation, you have to know back knowledge, like.
You are very your sound, it goes out a lot.
Yeah, you got
It's
it.
very,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Is
that's
my, is my
much better.
voice clear now?
That's clear now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. As you know, for example, if I want to practice simulations of work, I have to know back knowledge like aesthetics, like material science, and all of this stuff. So if I want to learn PDM, you know, you have to have a back knowledge.
The simulation reports.
Yeah, for like what, like project management, like any.
I think actually it's an option within PDM. Hang on, I'll just see where it is. It is actually an option within PDM to install to get the simulation report, but I think actually that's in professional. Hang on, I'll just create this for us. If I understand the question. I have this one, so there we go. It's very easy to create a local view of your vault. That's it. I mean, come on. So there we go. And if I just secret password. So I think there is, as you can see here, there's a lot more options within PDM Pro. So we have something, I think. Yeah, you can have include your simulation results in check-in. That's in PDM Professional. Actually, you can that. Was that did that answer a question, or did I misunderstand you? Thank you.
No, I just mean like SWUG PDM, like tools, but you know, you have to know some reference, like books, or talk about product that management, like topic, and start to emphasize every topic from it. So my question is, what the reference, or the you know, the books can I read
You hear him?
to
I
know?
think the sound is very scratchy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got him. I got him. He asked you about he want to learn more about PDM. What suggestion for books, like material, in order to be professional at that?
Of course, Mohammed. You know what? I don't have anything, but if can I contact you? Are we connected on LinkedIn, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
he can
good.
reach out.
Good. I'll just I'll send you something. I have a few things. I'll see what I can find for you. That's of course, no problem.
My second question. I'm sorry, but I have a lot of questions.
That's good.
So is it everyone to or can everyone, or should everyone start to learn PDM, or just PDM, SWUG PDM for specific roles? Like I am a mechanical designer, should I learn PDM, or when I become a project manager, should I become PDM? So is it for everyone or for a specific role?
That is, I mean, if you're pretty much only using PDM, if you're pretty much only using your mechanical background, if you're just using that, then a PDM, just learning how to check in, check files out, that's good enough. I would say. But learning to be an administrator, then I think you need to, I think you maybe project manager or something like that, I would say. But once you get the hang of it, I mean, the PDM standard is a great place to start, and then you can also expand with the Pro. But as you can see here, there's a lot more to PDM Pro than there is to PDM Standard. I don't think, no, there's only one default workflow. I think actually that's the same in the, yeah, that's the same. If the Pro here, that's a standard workflow. So, but if you're a mechanical engineer, you only work with, and that's all you do, then PDM Standard, well, you just need to learn how to use it. But if for instance, you say, okay, I want to be project manager, I want to learn a bit more and learn what it can do, then I think it's a good idea to start learning. And you can start off easy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and I'll find something for you. No worries.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
So you're gonna find also some similarities with 3D Experience platform at lifecycle maturity.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I think yeah, you have the life cycle on the platform, but as far as I know, it's not as customizable yet as PDM is. I think that's one of the things that people expect, because we have had a lot of customers who say, oh, well, now we want to be on 3D platform. We want to do the same that we do on our PDM. No, can't. It's not possible yet. But yes, I agree that the life cycle is, and no, of course, in a few years, we'll all be somewhere on the 3D Experience platform, I bet.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, I must admit, still, when it comes to private product lifecycle, I'm still most happy about PDM. But maybe that's because I've worked with it for like 7 years. I think that's why.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But definitely, I have looked into it, of course, with the lifecycle and 3D Experience, and as some of you also may know, I'm starting to look into the different things. But it's, I think it takes a while yet before we're completely there. But we're nice and easy. We're getting there. So. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah. If anybody got a question, feel free.
Yep. Or you can contact me.
Yeah.
I can just go to this. Hang on. I'll just go. And there we go. Yeah. So you can always contact me on LinkedIn or also on that email. So so this was meeting 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So
if no questions, so thank you so much for your informative presentation. We enjoy it.
hope it was of help. Otherwise, if you, Mohammed, if you both of you want a copy of the presentation, I'm more than happy to share it. Of course, there's maybe something you can use in installation or anything. And of course, I'll also find something for you, Mohammed, about PDM. So how to get started. Okay, great.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
So, and the next one is next week, next Friday. Is that the next one you have? With Visualize?
Wednesday. Wednesday. Yeah,
okay.
we got like Casey. Yeah.
Okay. That's a crazy week. So, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Great. So I'll see if I can drop by. Is that the same time as now, as this week meeting?
Yeah, it's the same time.
Yeah. Okay. I think as far as I remember, I don't have to go to work Thursday, so I might drop by. It's always a good thing to learn about Visualize.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a Visualize nerd, but it's
okay.
like a good time for me in order to get more information about PDM. This is the first time, so I'm gonna need it for sure in order to use it. Yeah.
Well, if you have any questions, otherwise, just you can always contact me on LinkedIn if you sit or if with some question. Can you do this in PDM? Feel free to contact me. I'll find out.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, let me stop my screen share. Stop recording.
Yes. There's not a lot of people online, actually.
Yeah. You are present now. You can stop recording. Yeah, because I didn't have access for that.
Pause is